All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Nerds and Noise. My name is SC, and I have Bree here with me.
Hello.
She had not seen the Avengers Endgame, now titled, trailer, which is okay. Not everybody spends all their time online, so I showed it to her. And we're just gonna give a few thoughts on the Avengers Endgame trailer. It's funny. I love how Disney had the entire world by the nuts all this time, with how they ended Infinity War with the villain winning. He went to a farm, wants to watch his crops grow, and then it just ends. And they made young children watch Spider-Man die with their own two eyes. And they gave it an Empire Strikes Back, but even twice as intense. Because at least at the Empire Strikes Back, there was hope. Yeah, because Han Solo wasn't dead. He was just frozen in carbonite. Luke didn't die. He just got his arm cut off. Like, they were being put through trials, but there was hope. The end of Infinity War left the audience... I've never seen an audience that quiet after a film, aside from 12 Years a Slave. So if that says anything to you, like, just dead silence, just disbelief. Everyone thought they had it figured out. They, in fact, did not. And then Disney's like, we know you'll be here next year. We're going to have all your money. And so everyone's been clamoring online, begging for this trailer for so long. And part of me was actually hoping that they weren't going to even put up a trailer, because even if they didn't put up a trailer until like the week of, they would still have all the money. But upon watching this trailer, what are your initial thoughts?
Well, I think it's gonna actually be a lot more emotional for me this time, because I know you said that the theater ended up being really quiet. I'm actually notoriously a very emotional movie watcher.
Yeah.
So Infinity War did not affect me very much, and that is saying a lot, because I mean,
have you seen all the movies leading up to it?
Yes.
Okay, you've seen all the movies.
Yeah, I'd seen all of them. I was caught up. And the thing, I can't really put my finger on why it didn't just affect me. Maybe it was kind of like that whole, all these things at once, and maybe it was kind of like an overwhelming kind of feeling where just so much was happening that I couldn't really emotionally connect into any one thing that was going on.
No, I can see that.
But so Infinity War, there were a few moments that did kind of like stroke my heartstrings a little bit, but. But I feel like this one looks like it's gonna be a little bit better at slowing down, focusing on fewer characters, showing you
fewer characters to focus
obviously.
So
they're gonna have this like this main set of characters that you're gonna be able to actually focus on. They're going to actually zoom in and take a look at their stories and their feelings that they're feeling right now. And that's a huge, this is what I want to see. Way more than, they just needed to set it up in Infinity War, is my opinion, and I feel like this is what we need.
It did, no, it's the payoff. Well, yeah, where Infinity War, I didn't cry during Infinity War. I thought it was, darn good filmmaking, just because of what they put in the Russo's pockets. Here is essentially every Marvel character in one film. You, as directors and writers, had to figure out a way to try to balance this and create this. And the most screen time was, I think between Thanos and Gamora, but the main character was kind of Thanos in a way, and that was really cool too, just to be able to get to know this character so much, and to make him like, yeah, he's terrible, he's the worst, but they really explored him as a character to where you believed that what he thought he was doing made sense.
I do love a good anti-hero instead of a villain.
So someone who believes. I mean, I guess all good villains believe what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's more than just, I'm going to kill all the things and
because
to
it's
take
fun.
all the money in the world. Where Thanos is like, he's got sound arguments. The world, the universe is overpopulated. This is just a cleanup. You guys thank me later. It's not going to hurt. I'm just going to make half of it go away. And then I'm going to go to my farm.
I think the part to me, I mean, you say the farm and stuff, and I think the part to me that made him such an effective villain to me is not even solely that he really believed in what he was doing, but the lengths that he was willing to go to because he believed in it. And the fact that he straight like
toss Gamora off.
Yeah. He's like, he just dropped his daughter to her death.
He did, and it hurt him. Like it's weird, to think about, because she's like, you don't love anything, and it wouldn't have worked if he didn't love her, which he very much did.
Right.
Like he was crying about it, like it killed him. But his duty was so, he's like, you don't understand. I saw my planet die because they didn't listen to me. So I'm on a righteous crusade. I mean, this is a holy quest.
Right.
And you don't understand now, but I got to toss you off this cliff. Like, if they had asked him to jump to throw himself off the cliff for it, he probably would have done it.
Yeah.
But no, they didn't ask for that. It's you got to give up, what you love most.
Yeah, and see, I think the best part about it is I love like tragic storytelling. I have like a very strange obsession with tragic endings and tragic storytelling. But I think the thing about that is like you and I as humans. As humans who have like lived our lives and learned our lessons, we know that farm is not worth it without your loved ones.
No.
So that's the best part to me, is that he is throwing this away, but we know it's not worth it, and he doesn't see that right now.
No, she even said, did you do it? She's like, yeah. What did it cost? Everything. So I'm really eager to see, after time has passed, what has become of Thanos. Like, is he they had that shot that was straight out of the comics of he made a scarecrow of his armor, which is straight out of the comics. And I'm really eager to see what mental state they put him in after you accomplish what you set out to do.
Yeah.
Are you happy? Are you content? Because he did give out the little smile at the end of the movie, kind of thing, like, I did it, I finally did it. But you see Steve is broken, he's crying. You see Hawkeye very clearly, his family probably got like decimated right in front of him, kind of a thing. So now he's donned his little Ronin armor and he's going around just killing folks. So yeah, everyone is broken. Steve had that single tear, and Tony Stark, you're watching Tony Stark is in space drifting alone. I think this whole trailer was just so just dour. I mean, that's why I love the ending so much, is that they've already beaten you down with Infinity War.
Yep.
And then they beat you down with this trailer. And then at the very end, Scott Lang shows up to be like, there is hope. And here's Ant-Man to save the day.
It's very Marvel.
It is. Like, they had a stinger at the end of the trailer. There's a post-credit trailer scene that we have now. And I like that, how they can be like, no, things are still terrible, but there is still hope. I cannot imagine how they're going to end this, because this is the end of an era. A lot of contracts are up. We're not gonna, after this movie, a lot of characters we're just not going to see again. So whether they die or get their off into the sunset kind of a thing, and is Tony going to get to go off and live the rest of his life with Pepper, or are they going to kill Tony? There has to be a toll, which is why I'm glad that characters died in the last movie. There has to be a cost. And I know Spider-Man's going to come back, Black Panther's going to come back. They're going to wish back half the world. But at the same time, when death is used right, not like Walking Dead where they punish the audience with just, there's not contempt for your audience here. But having an actual cost, having there be consequences, I think is great. And so I'm really hoping that there can be a balance, that we can have our tears, have our joy, but form a new base for the next 10 years of Marvel to go off of. Looking forward to that. One more thing we're going to talk about is Sonic the Hedgehog. So I'm a really big Sonic the Hedgehog fan ever since I was a kid. I'm also a very optimistic person and a very open-minded person. So yeah, I expected the internet to go, when they announced the live-action Sonic the Hedgehog, obviously the things that I think of are all of the terrible, failed video game adaptations that have graced our silver screens all these years.
There have been some surprisingly good. Like, what about the anime? They actually.
Bizarre. Yeah, I have it. Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie. Knuckles in his cowboy hat. Yes.
They made fun of themselves and I think succeeded in the long run because of that.
They do. I think because we as a people are getting better at this, I feel like we're not gonna have a Super Mario Brothers. We're not gonna have Street Fighter: Legend of Chun-Li. He's gonna be photorealistic. You can only see his outline, and he's. I understand why they did what they did. He's got shoelaces, and he's got a sort of muscular, toned body, and no gloves. And that doesn't. He's blue. He's got the spikes. He's Sonic the Hedgehog. was it Ben Schwartz doing the voice? And Tim Miller is behind this movie. He's the guy who brought us the first Deadpool. So, and it's got a good production team behind it. It's got James Marsden playing some cop, and James Marsden's a fellow Oklahoman, so I gotta rep him. And Jim Carrey's playing Robotnik, Eggman, and I'm actually all about that.
I am too.
Like, I don't know. I was like, he's like, you know what? I'm not gonna fight that. You know, there's no way. like it's Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, all I got to get is him running fast and fighting Robotnik and robots, and that's technically. I wonder how they're gonna work rings into it, because it's. I don't know. Yeah, it looks weird, but I can get used to anything. I thought the new Turtles looked weird at first whenever they first debuted them, but I kind of, the design grew on me actually. The Bay Turtles. It worked for a photorealistic world. But more than anything, and more so in the second movie too. Like at first, because
I might be able to get with that.
They loosened up off the some of the creep
the uncanny valley type area. Yeah,
they were slightly more cartoony, which was okay. In the second film, went all out Turtles. Like they get Bebop and Rocksteady and Krang. Shredder was actually Shredder. Like, people, they're starting to realize that all we as fans want is something similar enough to what we watched, growing up. Even the new Bumblebee movie, apparently, is like a love letter to Transformers, where they finally got away from Michael Bay, and they have a new director who is the head of Leica Studios, Travis Knight. He did Kubo and the Two Strings. And apparently everything that I've heard about Bumblebee is that, this should have been the first film like 11, 12 years ago. This would have been beautiful. So people are getting it. They're like, we don't have to stray too far. We can just give them...
be respectful of the original media.
Obviously, you got to make it for a broader audience, and that's the whole idea. Is that it's not just for the original fans. You want to make new fans so you can make more money.
Yep.
And it's somebody else's vision. And even with the new live action remakes of the Disney films, a big part of me is like there's part of me that does want it to be very close, and I want these songs in there, and I want these moments in there. When Aladdin comes, I want to get let's see the monkeys. Like, I want things like that. But at the same time, Guy Ritchie is a great director, and I want him to do something different than just repeat the animated Aladdin with live action people. Like,
put your spin on it.
Yeah. As a creator, I know that I would want to be able to put my my touch, my stamp on there. If I did something like that.
It's very similar to how I feel about tattoos. I refuse to walk in and show a tattoo artist, I want this. I'll give them an idea of what I want, but I want an artist to create. That's their whole point.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people out there who just want carbon copy, and that makes them happy. No shame if that's what you want, but I definitely, and I'm with you there, because I'm like, I've seen that already. I've seen this.
Yep.
Give me something new, even if it's something, obviously this is born from things that we've seen before, but
we've proved that we really do love callbacks once and again.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna pay homage to like a very famous moment, maybe in the original work, then I think that's really the good way to do it, and just do that little bit of fan service.
Yeah, sometimes
people want it.
It can be better. Like what I've heard about so far, someone read the script for the new Cowboy Bebop Netflix live action show, and they were like, it's like a merger of several different episodes, but they feel like Spike and Jet, and it's like Bebop but longer with more cussing. And I'm like, you know what? That works. It is something. You can make it similar, but different. Even Thanos himself is not the same as he was in the comics. They changed a lot of things, but it worked for the character that they created. Yeah. And even like the guy who created Thanos was like, yeah, that was really good. They found a way to stay true to a lot of what he was while creating something that worked better. As a movie, and whatever they do with Sonic, I will pray daily. Please just do my boy right. Just I know it has to be different, but just get his mannerisms in there, get his attitude in there. It's all about the tude.
It's about getting his essence.
Yes, and and I'll take the rest. But I would like I'm not above being surprised and blown away. I don't go into a movie wanting to hate it, because that's poor form. I know people they've already decided Sonic is going to be terrible. So they'll go in thinking this is going to be terrible, and they will decide, even if they are liking it, that it's terrible because it's not the same.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah,
is what it is.
People do that. Yeah, and I can't live life like that because that's just so.
They're doing themselves a disservice.
Yeah, when you close yourself off like that. Now, if it's trash, I'll call it for what it is. You know, because
Sure.
we're in no short supply of that. But yeah, that's our show for today. So thank you guys for listening. Be sure to check out the rest of our episodes, and we'll catch you next time on Nerds and Noise. Bye.